Well, hi, everybody. Here are your teacher's notes for this Sunday, December 3rd. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So bear with me just for a moment so you can see the lesson plan. I'm excited to start this lesson plan because we're starting to talk about Christmas. And so this time of the year is so awesome for so many families. And as you probably already know, our core value for this month is we value children and their families. And, you know, the Christmas story just talks about how God, you know, he valued our relationship so much. He wanted to be with us so much that he came down in the flesh to be with us and to reconcile us back to him. And so I just think that it goes so well with our core value for the month. And so we're going to kick off the Christmas season talking about how the prophet Isaiah prophesied about Jesus hundreds and hundreds of years before he was born. So let me get to the beginning of the lesson. One of the things I wanted to highlight is a change that we've done for a couple of weeks. We've been having small groups at the very beginning of class. And so what you'll see happening is that children, they'll come in and we have one arrival activity table. So all the children that come in will meet a youth volunteer at that table. And then that youth volunteer will allow them to finish whatever they're doing. This week, they're making chain links that we're going to use to actually decorate the room. And they'll be writing on the chain links why they celebrate Christmas or what they're thankful for. After they do that, then the youth will tell them to go to one of two small groups. So you guys can decide who's going to take the older group and who's going to take the younger group. One thing that we're asking is that you be consistent. So if you normally work with the older kids, we ask that you continue to do that. And if you normally work with the younger kids, you do the same. And part of that is we're really wanting to push small groups because they're so beneficial. There's so much research out there about how small groups benefit children, just like we talk about life groups with the adults and all the benefits of life groups and how people can connect, especially when they have a consistent person or a consistent group of people that they can speak with, that they also might have shared experiences with. And so we like to push that also in our elementary classes. So one of you will have the third, fourth, and fifth graders, and the other teacher will have the younger kids. And so what you'll see is the youth volunteer will feed those kids into your small group depending on what grade they're in. So these small group activities you see in the very beginning of the lesson plan, these are things that you'll do with the children. Everything that you need is going to be in your green bucket. You'll have the round green bucket. If you're with the older kids, you'll have the square green bucket if you're with the younger children. So anything that you need is in there. So read over these. You probably won't get to all of them. Part of something that you want to do as well in those introductory or the beginning small groups is you want to talk to the kids. You know, how was your week? What are some challenges you had this week? You know, what was your favorite thing about this week? This is your opportunity to have some time where you can talk with your kids. Another thing that you'll do is to collect offering. So we won't have the offering song in the service. Collect it at the very beginning, and then whoever is our youth volunteer, you need to make sure you get the offering from the teachers. Put it in the envelope, label the envelope elementary, put the date, and seal it. And you can have it by the back table until a member of the usher team comes to get it. So remember, youth, your responsibility is to ultimately collect and count the offering and put it in the envelope. So review those arrival activities. One that I particularly am fond of, to be honest with you, is the, I think it's the very last one, where they have a nativity scene that they're going to look at. And I like this one because, especially with our older group, it has some application. It says that as people saw the light of the star and were drawn to Jesus, who has been like a star in your life to make you want to follow Jesus. And so that helps the kids, you know, reflect on who are those important people in our lives that that help us to know about Jesus. And so that, I think that would be some great discussion that you can foster, especially with the older children. So I'm actually going to have small groups. We're going to have it go into class a bit. And so instead of it stopping right at 10 o'clock, I actually would like it to go in maybe 5 or 10 minutes in the class, and I'll set the PowerPoint to automatically start with our countdown video, our transition video. So you'll see it. We have a different transition video. And this one is from Hillsong, and it shows like a lot of dancing, and you'll know it's a transition video because it'll be different from the arrival videos. So once that comes on, go ahead and clean up your small group and encourage your children to help you clean up and to have a seat. So I know I spent quite a bit of time on that, but I really want to make sure that we're clear of why we're changing that and what it is that you guys need to do. After the small groups in the very beginning, everything is kind of like normal. You have your worship song, so make sure you look at those ahead of time. That's another thing I wanted to point out. We want the worship to be as energetic as possible, and we'd like everyone to be involved in the worship. Make sure you're clapping, make sure the kids see all the adults and all the youth, except for the youth that's doing media. But anyone in the room that's in some sort of leadership position needs to be, helping with worship. And feel free to invite the kids to come up. I mean, they are awesome. I have a couple that come up every week, and they help me with the worship service. And I really like that, and I encourage that. And I like how they like to lead themselves in worship. So look at those songs. We have our prayer. And then immediately after the prayer, the discussion starter video is going to come on. And this also gives us some application to what we'll be learning about today. So the video comes on, and after the video, one of you are just going to ask some questions, and all those questions will already be on the PowerPoint behind you, so you don't have to memorize them. We'll move into the rule video, the new kids, 3 questions, and so on. Then we have big question, big picture question, so you can read over that. We'll have our story, and then the salvation message. So after the video, the story video ends, right immediately there'll be this YouTube video about redemption. And so that kind of gives it gives somewhat of a salvation message. And then you can just feel free to talk about whatever Holy Spirit leads you to talk about at that point. If you do offer a salvation message and any child responds, we have the pamphlet in the back that we give each child that responds. And we also would like you to, talk to them during altar time. You can pray with them if you like, and then make sure you write their names down so we can follow up with their parents during the week. So that's kind of what we've been doing. And then you have your small groups, and this is our small groups that we normally have. So make sure you review all those small group activities and let us know if you have any questions. We have a transition video, and then the last is we have a large group game, and that one's kind of self-explanatory. So again, just let us know if you have a question. Kristen did a wonderful job writing this lesson. I'm excited. If you don't know already, Kristen Corson, she's transitioning into our elementary coordinator role. So it's just like we have Jessica, who is our preschool coordinator. Mary has now transitioned to take Nikki's place as our nursery coordinator. And now Kristen is going to be our elementary coordinator. And she is excited. I'm excited about having her on board, and she's going to be working with you guys more in the future. But if you have any questions about this lesson, you can feel free to contact me or contact Kristen, and we'd be happy to help you. So we look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday. Thank you, as always, for serving the kids. It's such a blessing to have you on our team, and we look forward to seeing you. Bye-bye.